Well, CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan joins us live with the latest on this search. Obviously, this is deeply concerning, and given the connection that this individual has to these victims, I mean, it's obviously very disturbing, and we have to assume that there's some sort of mental illness that's going on. And when someone's in a crisis, that kind of changes the situation, I'm guessing, for police who are trying to bring this man in safely.
Well, their concern right now, the police concern that is to locate this individual wherever he might be. So we talked about the mental health aspect. I covered this story Friday afternoon when it broke, and all of the neighbors in that very tight-knit community all came out to talk to me about the family, the grandmother, the mom, and the son all had been living in that house. And they all described their own experiences where this 33 or 34-year-old man was suffering some sort of mental health crisis. Now, they did not say that they were afraid of him, but they certainly made their way clear or back into their homes when this happened. So this is typical of what happens oftentimes, and the police haven't said this yet, but I'm going to go back on my own experience in homicide. Oftentimes when you have a son who is suffering from a mental health crisis, moms are the ones that are always there. And I have been given information that he was released from being examined, I guess, or under some doctor's care just a few weeks before this happened. So oftentimes moms are the ones that wear the brunt of when a person loses their thought and is in the worst crisis of their time, and this is the outcome of what I believe we are seeing.
And at the same time, police are under a microscope on how they deal with individuals who are dealing with a mental health crisis, how they apprehend them. Obviously, things can become very volatile in those situations. Have police, I guess, maybe changed a little bit their focus about when they're entering these situations, knowing the public eye is on them, how much scrutiny is on them, on how they detain these individuals? Because there's been many cases where police have unfortunately had to fatally shoot someone when they're coming at them with an axe or something, and then they have to justify that. So when someone is dealing with these kind of crises, how does that change from the policing aspect when you're approaching these individuals?
Well, typically the police are called when a person who is suffering from a mental health crisis is at their worst, and then the police are called to deal with it. And remember, the police show up. One of their jobs is to protect life and from grievous bodily harm from occurring. So oftentimes when the police are notified of a situation like one where somebody is at their heightened crisis, it oftentimes turns very violent. But let's suggest that it shouldn't get to that point, that moms and grandmothers should not be murdered by their family members. There should be help for these people and for the families, as opposed to just saying, here's your kid, here's his medications, hope he takes them, good luck.
And at the end of the day, there is someone who's violent, who is out in our public right now. They need to be apprehended. What's the advice for the average person out there that might see this person maybe at a bus stop, at a street corner? What's your advice?
So police released a statement on Friday night saying that if you see this individual, they do consider him to be dangerous, and people are asked to call 911.
Steve Ryan, we appreciate the updates. We'll chat in a bit.
All right.